Today we are going to explore a fundamental and fascinating topic, the concept of justice. What makes a society just? How can we ensure that everyone has equal opportunities? To understand these questions, let's dive into the theories of two great contemporary philosophers, John Rawls and Robert Nozick. Let's get started. What is a just society? A just society is one that ensures all its members have the same opportunities to achieve their goals and live a dignified life. Justice involves the equitable distribution of resources, rights, and duties, ensuring that no one is disadvantaged or discriminated against. But how can we determine what is just? The theories of John Rawls and Robert Nozick offer two different perspectives on this issue. John Rawls, one of the most influential philosophers of the 20th century, presented his theory of justice as fairness in his book, A Theory of Justice, 1971. For Rawls, a just society is one that is organized according to two fundamental principles. 1. Principle of equal liberty. Each person is to have an equal right to the most extensive basic liberties compatible with a similar scheme of liberties for others. 2. Difference principle. Social and economic inequalities are to be arranged so that they are a. To the greatest benefit of the least advantaged and b. Attached to offices and positions open to all under conditions of fair equality of opportunity. Rawls proposed the concept of the veil of ignorance to determine these principles. Imagine that you are in an original position, where you do not know your own position in society, your social class, race, gender, or abilities. In this state of ignorance, Rawls argues that people would choose principles of justice that ensure maximum fairness, as no one would want to find themselves in a disadvantaged position. Rawls' theory is widely celebrated for its focus on distributive justice and the protection of the least advantaged. However, some critics argue that his approach can be idealistic and difficult to implement in practice. Additionally, the emphasis on redistribution can be seen as a restriction on individual freedom, which leads us to Robert Nozick's view. Robert Nozick presented a contrasting view in his book Anarchy, State, and Utopia, 1974. For Nozick, justice is not about an ideal distribution of goods but about respecting individual rights of property and freedom. He advocates a theory called justice as rights, based on three principles. 1. Principle of just acquisition, how one may acquire a holding initially not possessed by anyone. 2. Principle of just transfer, how one may transfer holdings to another justly. 3. Principle of rectification, how to correct injustices in acquisition or transfer of holdings. Nozick criticizes Rawls' theory for being coercive. He argues that any forced redistribution of resources violates individual rights. For Nozick, as long as property is justly acquired and transferred, any distributive outcome is just, regardless of the inequalities it may generate. Nozick's approach is praised for its defense of individual freedom and property rights. However, it is often criticized for neglecting social and economic inequalities. Critics argue that an exclusive focus on individual freedom can perpetuate injustice and inequality, as it does not adequately address the structural disadvantages faced by some groups. The main difference between Rawls and Nozick lies in their approaches to distributive justice and individual rights. While Rawls prioritizes equity and the protection of the least advantaged, Nozick emphasizes individual freedom and property rights. A just society, according to Rawls, is one that seeks to level the playing field for everyone, ensuring that no one is left behind. For Nozick, a just society respects each individual's freedom to pursue their own interests, as long as they do not infringe on the rights of others. When comparing these theories, we must consider the value we place on equity versus freedom. Is it possible to find a balance between these two approaches? This is a question that continues to challenge philosophers, politicians, and citizens around the world. The theories of John Rawls and Robert Nozick offer valuable perspectives, each with its strengths and weaknesses. As a society, it is important to continue debating and reflecting on these issues to build a more just and equitable world. This was today's reflection. Leave your comments below. What do you think about these theories? Which one resonates more with your vision of a just society? Let's continue this discussion. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Keep philosophizing, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, it is not enough to acquire wisdom, it must be applied.